Hello guys, welcome to the new video of Excel tutorial. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, which is inventory turnover ratio. Here you can get the output of inventory turnover ratio in terms of how much inventory turnover ratio is, what the days of inventory, and what kind of inventory it is, whether it is fast moving, slow moving, or moderately moving. Let us discuss how we can calculate and come up to this conclusion. Let's start with the input data sheet. Here is the input data sheet in which we have usual data which we can get from any transactional data system or any ERP systems. So how does it start? It start with the SKU, which item you have and which category it belongs to. It is just an identifier, no active use of this in the calculation sheet. What is your opening inventory, and then how much purchase happened, and what is the closing inventory. But what is the period for these? This is the period. So this is the quarterly inventory sheet. So in your case, if you want to do it daily, you can have a daily. If you have a weekly data available, you can do it weekly. If you have a monthly data available, you can do it monthly as well. So yeah, so you have here opening inventory, purchase, closing inventory, and your COGS. The only thing which you need to be vigilant about in this sheet is that all the data should be in dollars or in the currency in which you want it to be. Why? Because we are calculating the inventory turnover ratio, which is dimensionless, but still the entities involved in the calculation should be on the same dimensions. Anyway, so for this purpose, I have used it as a dollar, and I have mentioned it in the sheet as well that it has to be in monetary terms. Yeah, so for those who are thinking that if you don't have the opening inventory and the closing inventory, you can have your any inventory snapshot whichever you have taken at any point of time across the day. So generally what happens that you start with day with certain stock, and then across the day some transaction happens, you ship to your downstream nodes, you receive from your upstream nodes, and these kind of transaction happens, and then you end up with certain inventory. So in order to just check that okay, what would be the inventory on that particular time period or the day, we just take an average of it. So that we will be calculating in the next sheet. First you need to set up this kind of input data, which is very easy, and then you need to move to the calculation part. So this is the calculation sheet, and it's very simple. There are not much thing which we have to do, but yes, so the all the yellow ones are the one which are the input data which we are getting from the input data sheet. And then this sheet perform all the core calculation and the transformation needed to generate insight from the raw data. Everything in this sheet is linked to the input data sheet, which is earlier one. So as I was discussing earlier, that first of all you need to calculate the average inventory. And how we are calculating it? It is just the opening inventory and the closing inventory divided by 2. Okay, so here you can see that okay, I am just explaining that as well, that okay, how you can calculate everything. We are saying that it should be the opening inventory plus closing inventory by 2. So if you are going to do this, you will get certain number which is a average inventory for that particular period. In our case, the period is quarter. Okay, let's move to the calculation sheet again. So once you get this number, which is average inventory for that period, and that you have the COGS, which is cost of goods sold, for that inventory in that period, now you need to calculate inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is nothing, it just COGS divided by the average inventory. And what does it do actually? So it measures how many times the stock was sold and replenished during the period. I will talk about that, how to read and how to analyze the number of inventory turnover ratio and what kind of inference you can have by the values. So let's say by calculating this number, you are going to get, let's say, 4.26, 5.6, and likewise. So what does it tell? So higher the inventory number, it means you are replenishing your inventory very fast. There's a second case, lower the inventory turns, it means you are not able to move your inventory. Okay, so what kind of action these kind of inference required? So if you are moving your inventory very fast, it can have two inference. Either you are constantly under forecasting, or it's a fast moving item. Okay, so if it is a fast moving item, then you have to have higher safety stock levels and good service levels, because these are fast moving items. Then in the case of when the inventory turnover ratio is low, it means it's a slow moving item. It can fall into the write-off category. Moving on to the another sheet, which is the days of inventory. Now how you are going to calculate the days of inventory and what does it matter? So if you go to the days of inventory formula, we can also call it days of inventory outstanding. It converts turnover ratio into a time-based metric. Let's say how long inventory stay before the sale. In the inventory turnover ratio, you have how fast you're replenishing. If you get this number and multiply inverse of it into the number of days, you will get how many days you are keeping this inventory before it is getting sold. So in this case, let's say it is saying that around 4 times you did the replenishment. Then what does it mean? So it means that inventory stays on an average 85 days before getting sold. So right now I am using 365 in order to calculate the days. If you want to calculate the week, you can use the 52, or if you want to calculate the months, you can use 12. But I hope you're getting the concept. The thing is that inventory turnover is 4. It means in an year you only replenish 4 times. So it means once inventory come, then it got stock out, then you again replenish it. Let's say you did this cycle 4 times only, so the inventory resides in your premise 85 days on an average. This is very important terms in order to do the financial analysis. If you want the inventory financial analysis, do comment me in this video. I can have a video on it, and I can also have an Excel tutorial that how to calculate it and how to identify the value metrics of the inventory. Anyway, so moving ahead, in this sheet we are going to calculate the turnover rank as well. So why it is required, I will tell you that here we are going to check that okay, which SKU is having highest inventory turn and which is having the lower one, so that I can categorize them into the slow moving, fast moving and moderate. So here we are saying that if your inventory turnover is greater than 8, it means it is fast moving, and if you have your inventory turnover ratio is greater than 4 and less than 8, it would be moderate, and other else it will be slow moving. So this is how you can have the classification of your inventory in terms of slow moving, fast moving and the moderate, and this will help you to analyze that which inventory need focus. If the fast moving inventory is there, you need to have a higher service level and the higher safety stock, and you need to think about your slow moving, whether you need to move around or you get rid of that item, or you need to write off that inventory. So hope you like this video. You can get this Excel at a very minimal price in the description, and you can comment at what topic you want us to make a video, so that we can help you as much as possible. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. We'll see you in another tutorial. Thank you.